Good evening, good day, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Chris here. Yes, it's been a little while since we've done an update. Reason being is we kind of had to go into hiding a little bit because there's been a lot of disclosure, if you will, that's been going on upstairs, around us, whatever you want to call it. And I've been told by source just hold off for right now because we didn't want to show our hand to the dark side, to whoever is behind all of kind of the nastiness going on in the world. But now I've been given the okay to say some stuff. Now, in the past, you've heard me talk a lot about our source self, that instead of saying the word soul, we're using the word source self. We can now use soul. Okay, the soul is back. The soul has been, let's say, released from its prison, which was basically in the basement and the bowels of the Great Pyramids of Egypt. Okay, so it's been, let's call it a soul trap. It's been released, and I did find this within some clients that we needed to release through this person, release the souls back to humanity. So we are now working within the soul and all of the soul grids. The soul grids consist of the soul, the oversoul, the avatar, and the rishi level. So those have been very, very pleasant to have back, to work with them and to make changes and help people with all of their issues. It's been amazing how it's been working so well. Another thing that we found, and I've got a story about this one. I've always been removing witchcraft spells from people. The beginning of the issue within a health problem may be delivered by a spell, and lifting witchcraft spells has been very much part of what we do down here. But what I was told by source is look for the white Draco that is casting spells. And what I found was what we call a white royal Draco. This thing is 14 feet tall, huge muscles just like me, huge wings not like mine. And when I found this thing, this is about 3 weeks ago, I was in my kitchen and I found it. And my wife opens a cupboard, and it's the top of it's about 10 feet tall. We got super high ceilings in the kitchen, and this glass bowl that's been sitting there for 4 years decides to come down on her, and she closed the door just in time before it hit her. And I was like, okay, something's here, something's not happy. And she looked at me like this. She had a friend of hers there, and I didn't want to start talking about what it was, but definitely. And then that night, I go to use my ensuite bathroom to go tinkles, and what's in my shower right next to me, I could feel it. It was there. I felt some movement, and sure enough, so I gave it a blast, and off it went. But that has been instrumental. We've been clearing that a lot and getting some really good results. That is now gone. That thing, it's either in hiding, I can't see it right now, or it is, we've taken care of it and it has gone into ether, which is where we send everything. So oh my goodness, that has been a wild ride finding that thing. Now, what's been coming up lately, the last few days, in the interim, just lots of distraction was happening. I was getting led to certain areas that didn't exist, or problems that weren't there, by all of this dark energy was telling us to go the wrong directions, but we figured it out, help people and so on. But what has been coming up now very clearly is how humanity is being affected in many different ways. One thing we've been finding is that a lot of people have a lot of duplicates or clones of themselves, which, let's say you have a clone of your heart, it may give you a heart problem because now that energy is splitting off to two different hearts. Depending on how many times it's been cloned, it gets weaker, weaker, and weaker. So that is something that we've been finding a lot of and taking care of. But the big one lately, and this one is huge. Oh, first of all, I have a colleague in Portugal. His name is Jose. What's your last name, Jose? His name is Jose Finera. And this guy downloaded my free charts. Okay, Jose, I'm going to talk about you a little bit. I love you, buddy. Jose Farina. He does a lot of work with nutrition, and he discovered my work and thought, I want to try this. So he downloaded my free charts on my website, and he bought a Vesica Pisces from me, and he's been dowsing and dowsing getting answers from source and getting these amazing clearings. And he's doing some phenomenal work. So he came up with something called neutrality. So when you take the soul and put it in neutrality, it is now in a neutral state. Okay, it disconnects you from duality. It puts you in this neutral state where nothing can get to you. Okay, that's probably the easiest way to. You came up with a very big explanation about it, but when you put something in neutrality, it is now in a neutral state. So if you need to work on somebody's heart neutrality, true, it's been working amazing. And then when you use the word pure neutrality, it even takes it to a higher level. So we've been having fun with that one. Jose, it's coming up really well, and I appreciate you, brother, for bringing that to us. It's working really good. So now when we go into the grids, if you consider people who do Reiki and quantum touch and other modalities, they talk about the causal body. Well, what we're using now, what I'm realizing is that if you call it a grid network, everything is a grid, or let's even say a matrix. But if you look at the part of the body as a grid, part of a grid structure, then you clear the grids and then you clear the physical, things happen a lot better. Now this takes us into the concept of how is the secret government going to take out humanity. Okay, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of different people talk about the Georgia Guidestones, that they only want to have a certain amount of people on the planet by a certain time, and different things like that. And how are they going to create scenarios within humanity so that, number one, you may want to take your own life, you may want to go take the lives of others, you may want to take a gun and go shoot up a bar or a school. Okay, how is this going to happen? How do you manipulate somebody? How do you utilize mind control on somebody? And that is working through the endocrine system, which is all of the hormones in your body and all the neurotransmitters. So if you want to control a human, I've always said this, you want to control a human, control their hormones, because everything is hormones, right? Everything is neurotransmitters. So the way that this is happening is through, it's a three-part system. There is the grid system, which is the endocrine grids, the central nervous system grids, the soul grids are all involved. And there are RF signals, radio frequency signals. Okay, many people are concerned about the system, the cell phone system and everything. Yeah, that is definitely an issue, but they're using the RF signals, radio frequencies, through television, through cell phones. They're using the radio frequencies to activate the nanotechnology, the nanobots that are in your body, to do things, to make things happen. So that's been lit the last few days. That has been huge to finally knock out the nanotechnology, the nanobots. We call them nanobiotics. They can cause infection in your body. They can cause disruption in the neurotransmitter system, the hormonal system, etc. Everything in our bodies is hormones and neurotransmitters. You knock those out and you're just a flapping puppet. So we've been knocking all that out, blocking the RF signals. The planet Saturn still keeps coming up. Lots of things happening from Saturn as a transmission from Saturn to humanity to activate all this stuff to happen. Also, what I've been finding is along with the duplicates and the clones, if you reinstate the original self, the person's original self, true, all of a sudden, wow, things are looking better that way. Okay, so let's get back to the grids. I'm all over the place today. Today's Friday. I can't wait to get out of here and go have some fun. With the endocrine grids, in many cases, the person's endocrine system is disconnected from those grids. So we need to take those grids and reconnect them with the endocrine system, and then the body's going to function a lot better. Your physical body will work off of that grid system. That's why they target that grid system, is to make those changes. So that's basically where it's been going, and it has been really eye-opening, a lot of the things that come forward, and every day, every week, Source brings these new things There's things to pay attention to, and quite often they're little things that add up to a big thing, and it is very, very eye-opening. People who are doing true quantum healing, you know who you are. Basically, the best way to enhance doing this work for any healer, for that matter, is oh, here's a big one. Okay, so within our soul, our grids, within our heart, our sacred heart, within our heart, if we allow source particles to come in, that will start to grow things, especially in your soul, if the specific area is a soul. Now, first, you want to look and see if there's any anti-source particles. What is the opposite of source? Anti-source. What is the opposite of love? Anti-love. Okay, if you look at it that way, move out all the anti-source particles out of your system, out of wherever you find it, replace it with source particles. Source particles, true. The more you do that within your soul, the bigger your soul gets. The bigger your soul is, the better healing you can do, the more in depth you can get. It makes you stronger. So if there's a very strong witchcraft spell sitting there and you can't get through it, just keep on intending source particles into your soul, and you're going to knock that sucker right out of the ballpark. That's what we've been finding. It's the size and strength of your soul. You have to be stronger than something if you're gonna clear it out. You can't be looking up at something. You have to be looking down at something in order to get it. So you need to be at a higher level. You can intend these source particles into your higher self, into your nose, into whatever. Just intend them to increase your energy, to increase your vitality in order to do this work. And that's, in a nutshell, that's where it's been going. Oh, I don't know if Dustin, my guitar player, watches this at all, but I just want to say I love you, buddy. Take care. All is good. Dustin has chosen to take a vacation from the band, and we're going to go forward and see if we can find another guitar player. I think we may have, but we're going to see what goes on. That's what's going on in my little world. Rock and roll, and rocking and rolling upstairs too. So, oh, by the way, I was told never to do this, but I went looking at a lot of the comments from the videos I leave. The trolls. Oh my goodness, you guys are hilarious. Look at his shirt. He has pyramids on his shirt. He must be reptilian. I mean, why are you guys watching this stuff if you don't agree with it? It's just beyond me. Anyways, it's I had to laugh, and I was showing my wife some of them. She goes, people really write this stuff? I go, yeah, there's people with nothing better to do than to try and, you know, rock my world or try and lower my vibration. But we trolls, we just laugh at you because that's all there is to it. We send you love. We want you to definitely be part of this. But at the end of the day, if you're watching these videos in a subconscious type of way, you do have an interest in it and you want to be part of it. So watch it all you want. Leave all the comments you want. Nobody can rock my world. Everything is good. My life is going perfect. I can't, you know, stress that anymore, that my life is going absolutely beautiful. I just love what I'm doing. I love the people I'm working with, all my colleagues, Jose, Ty, Nora, Shauki, Nicola. I mean, everybody has just been beautiful. We're making progress. We're working together for the common good, and for that I am very grateful. Everybody, keep in touch. Chris out.